just love that when it says this meeting is being recorded.
I know, it's crazy.
Welcome, everybody. We are being recorded and we are live. We are on the week 4. I cannot believe we are week 4 of our FatMeltaway series. So what I wanted to kind of share with you, what was playing in the background, is actually the water harmonizing. And so I'm going to just angle my camera a little bit so you can see way back there is my gallon jug of water, and it's been hooked up to my actual iPad. So I'm going to grab it now. And it's been going through the water harmonizing program that, well, very similar, because I know those ran out if you download them right away. But I wanted to kind of share with you how you can do that. What that is back there is a remedy plate. Let me grab that too. And this is called our remedy plate. You can hook it to your phone. You can hook it to your, whatever you have your Quanta capsule hooked up to, you can get one of these and actually play frequency and or put any other frequencies into like a wristband or whatever you want to do with it. But I just wanted to share with you how you could do that. Another way you could go about doing that is taking your jug, take your actual gallon, or even you have a small device like this, you can put the frequencies onto your phone and then put them and just run them for 15 minutes. And that's all you have to do. I mean, it's just that simple. It's that crazy easy. So I had a lot of great feedback from people who, well, they had a couple of questions on how to do it, how to use the water harmonizing frequencies. And then I had another person say, do you think you're going to share that one again? Because that's no longer available. So I thought, what a great way to get started with today's session and then just show that. So, so that's basically all you have to do. I'm going to go ahead and exit out of this so we can get started with our session today. And I've always have the screen set up so you actually get to see how we begin a new session. There we go. All right, so you know the drill. This is our 4th time. It's not our 4th rodeo. Dawn, if you want to unmute yourself so that you can say with us, I'll count us down. I'll say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll hit this record button. And we're going to say, my name is, what our name is, and A-E-I-O-U, A-E-I-O-U, and then share your specific intention that you want from this. Prior to this session, I called upon all of the people who are in the FatMeltaway series and asked the archangels to come in and help us with everyone's specific intention. So here we go. We're going to be ready to go. Let me make sure my volume is turned up. All right, it is. All right, I'm going to count us down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
My name is Susan.
Hi, my name is Barb.
A-E-I-O-U.
A-E-I-O-U. My intention is to help the estrogenic system.
My intention is to lose 10 pounds.
Okay, wonderful. So I'm going to hit the voice harmonics. And then I'm going to shortly take a picture of all of us as soon as the voice harmonics is finished. So just to remind everyone, or if this is the first time you're actually watching, the voices get placed into the system, into the Genius biofeedback system. And then it takes that voice and then applies the fast Fourier algorithms so that our voice then becomes the frequency that it looks for. And that's the same thing we do is we take a picture. So I will get a new picture, take a new picture. And I'm going to try to get my head in there too. Okay. And Dawn, you're there in spirit because your name is there.
Yep.
Use photo. And then I'll go ahead and do the same thing. We're going to put that into the fast Fourier algorithm. And then we're going to go ahead and put a beautiful affirmation in. All right, now we're beginning the assessment. And the first place we always go to is we'll take a look at the chakra, or the aura rather, and then the chakra. And I know, Barb, you had a few questions, so I did pull out a few things. Once we take a look at what we see, I will do a better job in the group to be able to identify what we're actually seeing. But I can also point out a few items here because, I mean, I know we're going to just run and jump right into the panels, right? So, okay, this is wonderful. This is a good one to be able to describe what we see. Susan, since you're a practitioner, if you want to pop in and be a part of any of the conversation, you can. But on my screen, and let me take a quick picture of it so we can share it in the groups. This is the picture of our aura. There's a lot of murkiness in here. You see that there's a cross between yellow and green. So it's kind of like a murky green. And I'll read to you what that kind of represents. And then in our root, so I see a lot going on within our heart chakra, our sacral chakra. I wouldn't be surprised if when we look at the chakras, that's going to be an area of opportunity. When I look here at the root chakra, it's very murky. It's almost like a burnt red. Again, there seems to be a lot of stuck energy here. So this is wonderful. We'll have a great opportunity to be able to clean this up. And I love it when we have, when we go from one extreme to another. And with this, I can already tell that we will have some greatness going on. What's interesting, and again, it's not as poignant on the screen for you to see, but right through here, it is a little bit brighter. So that's right there at our heart chakra where it's a little bit more bright in the green. So I would estimate that that's going to be some area of great relief. But when we look at the green, that's the heart chakra, when we see it being dark or murky, like right there, it could be yellow tinge in the green, could be an overload to the point of exhaustion. If that kind of applies to anybody who's witnessing and participating, that could be what that means. When we have like a murky red, it's could be having some anger, again, going back to being tired, just wanting to release, have some of that stagnation release. That's kind of what that pinpoints to me. But if the vibrant green right in here, that would indicate to me that someone's passionate about some ideas that kind of want to pull out. And remember, when we look here, we're looking energy coming in and energy leaving our body over here. So that's what we're going to be taking a look at. Let's go ahead and see where the chakras take us.
Okay, so one of my questions
Oh, go ahead.
is, we have our beginning aura, and then the ending or the after aura is that after you have pulled out these frequencies to help balance us?
Yes.
Is that where that comes from?
That is correct, Barb. That's a wonderful question. Thanks so much for asking that, because that's a really great question. So many of you see the before and then the after, and that after picture is after identifying the frequencies that are the highest priority, running them, and then I take the next 2 or 3 level of panels and I'll run those as well. And when I run those, the answer to that is I run them until I hit above 50, 55 rectification. Many times I'm hitting 70, 78%, sometimes even the 80 rectification. It just really, it depends on the energy, how open we all are. You know, if there's not a lot of diversity too, that also helps. But one of the things that I always do here in the main panel, if you look, we have mind, we have biofield, we have body, and then an area of libraries. What I like to do is call upon all of the reds and blues in the major categories and get those already into into our main focus. So, and then I also like to take a look at our system overview, and that will tell me, that'll also give me an idea of what we're looking at. Although I'm kind of going a little bit out of order. Normally I like to look at the chakras, but I know we've got some, well, let me take a look at the chakras. I can come back to that.
No, that's fine. That answered my question. What was
Okay.
really interesting this time was that aura was very similar to the personal one you did for me when I was so stressed a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I noticed even the after aura was not truly balanced, and that's because I was so out of whack.
Although it was quite vibrant, Barb, your second one was vibrant. That was one thing that when we ended, I was just like, wait a second. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't all symmetry, but it was very vibrant. And when we see
So
the
that's
vibrancy,
that's part of what you're looking for, is the vibrancy of the color. Okay.
I really, yeah, I would never end a session. So again, another great question. If I was running a session, an individual session for a person, whether I was doing it live like we're doing or remotely, I will always end when the energy gets cleared and it becomes vibrant. Because if I ended and it was murky, well, I'm not doing any one of us a good favor in the universe, am I? So yeah, so I really want to make sure that we clear those stagnation energies. So that's exactly what we're looking at. So we have the brow chakra, that is a blue. And interesting, although I know that we have some stagnation in the root chakra, it's sitting at 225. So I'm going to go ahead, and it was the aura, it was murky all the way around the top. So the brow and the crown chakra, that doesn't surprise me. I'm going to come back to this after I take a look at some of the meridians. But we know that when we're looking at the crown chakra, we're going to be looking at the pineal. We're going to look for the pineal and pituitary with the third eye. So I want to make sure I'm going to make a note of that, pineal and pituitary.
Well, also, this may be totally off base, is the crown chakra is also the chakra where we receive the light of the universe too. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's right up here.
Yeah.
And then the brow chakra is your third eye, right? And the root or throat chakra is blue. You can see here.
Right. It's just that Master Co, if you ever listen to any of him, he's the one that, you know, is through Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
And he is huge about making sure that you're creating light through your crown chakra, because that's what's reaching the universe.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So then let's go back to that system overview. And interestingly enough, the bladder comes up high. And when I look at where the bladder falls into corresponding chakra, we are really looking at the solar plexus area. So I'm going to go back to that chakra and look at that solar plexus, where it's sitting. Okay. I'm going to pull in, because I just saw that with the meridian points. I'm just going to pull that in. All right, so now let's continue with these meridians. So we have the bladder meridian and the yin meridian with the bladder. So that's, let me pull in the red and the reds, there's no blues. So the bladder meridian, we're going to pull the reds and the blues out of there. The red and the blues. Just see how many there are, okay. And the corresponding, or the yin and the yang meridian to the bladder meridian is the kidney. So let's see where we are with the kidney meridian. I'll pull in the reds and the blues for the kidney. We always want to balance out each meridian point, the yin and the yang, when we look at the meridians. And so the lung meridian, oops, just wanted to open that up. We'll get the red and the blue. And the lung meridian is the large intestine. We'll pull in the red and the blue. Heart meridian one red and one blue. And with the heart, the yin is the small intestine. Perfect. All right, that's awesome. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at what's happening in our Bach flower essences. We have vervain, red, and we have blue. And I thought I would hand out or just talk a little bit about what these Bach flower essences mean. So when we look at vervain, we're looking at very fixed ideals, learning to channel this energy for the highest good, combine certainty with flexibility. We really want to look at the frequencies with the gallbladder, Nogier G, sacral chakra, crown chakra, and the nervous system, and look at adrenals, which really, that's up here, vervain. And if I just take a look at clematis, which is the last one on the lowest one, that is getting grounded in the present. So in the future, you can move to a direction of your dreams. Well, if you remember that root chakra, it was a little murky, right? So that makes a lot of sense that clematis is coming out for us. And then we want to look at the bladder meridian, kidney meridian, root chakra, and 852 awakening intuition megahertz for spiritual. So those are just examples, and whatever comes out at the very top in our group, I can actually say, well, if Vine is the one that comes to the top when we actually do the progressive insights, I'll actually talk a lot more about them. So let's just go ahead and keep on looking at the balancing. We want to pull in the reds and the blues from our emotional, our brain EEG, and anatomy. So brainstem and parietal lobes. And then let's take a look at our neurotransmitters. Both of those neurotransmitters are important for FatMeltaway, so we definitely want to grab those. Okay, let's take a look at our solfeggio tones. Well, we know we want to have the reds and the blues, connecting the dots. We always, any session I ever do is like, yeah, we always want to have transformation and miracles of DNA. But you know, that other one that was called for was 852. So we definitely want to pull that one in. And Nogier. We're going to pull in the F and the A. And we're going to pull in that E and the B that was talked about. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and see what we have for sacred geometry. I always love to pull in, since we're doing anything, working with anything that's right around our heart chakra, taking the toroids. We want to do the reds and blues here. And oh, I wanted to grab the flower of life. Hang on a second, let me go back to that. There we go. There are just certain ones that I've worked with so many times that I know that I want to actually include. So let's take a look at our amino acids that are being called for. Our vitamins. Let's see, we want to look at spinal energy.
Okay, Laura, I know you can't diagnose, cure, or prevent anything.
Yes.
But I've noticed each time, I'm sorry, Google's talking to me. That the folate is high. And my interest on that is, does that mean maybe one of us in a group or two or three might be having trouble processing vitamin B?
Yeah, actually, I would, it's spot on that you even identify that. So kudos to you, Barb, because I don't methylate folate. So I'm a big person in that piece. And it's not surprising that if we have some hypothyroid people, that they also have many times difficulty, especially if they have the MTHFR diagnosis in their hypothyroid, they really have some difficulty with the methylation. So
yeah, I've just noticed each time in a group that the folate's been really high, and and I hadn't thought about the thyroid problems that you're having, but you're a big part of the energy of the group, and that's probably part of the reason why.
Right, but I know, well, of the people who I've worked with so far for their individual sessions, there's a lot of commonality in our hormones. There's a lot of commonality in hypothyroidism. I mean, it's fairly interesting to like see the gamut. So I'm looking forward to everyone really coming back. I think I've done a total of 4 individual sessions for people. So we've got a lot of people who haven't called up and said, sign me up, I want to do my individual session. But take a look at what we see here. We've got the thymus showing, hypothalamus. I'm going to pull in that thyroid and parathyroid because we know we have already identified pineal gland needs to be pulled in. Our adrenal and pituitary is something that we have seen time in and of itself always. So I'm going to pull in those thyroid issues. Okay. All right, let's take a look at, did I hit amino acids? Let me just make sure I did. Okay. All right, let's take a look at where our libraries are and hit on the most essential ones that are important to our Fat Meltaway series. Interesting, coming up is our headache solutions up at the top. And we know we've been working with Debbie. She's been on vacation. When I did her individual session for her migraines, she had a wonderful session, private session. And, but I'm just gonna take a look at that since she is in our group and her energy is already here because she had already sent me a text saying, I'm not online live, but.
Did she say where she was on vacation? I was concerned about the hurricane.
Yeah, no, I didn't see where she was on vacation.
Because she lives in Clearwater and that's getting some rain. I don't think it's done too much damage as it's come further north, but I was just concerned for her.
Sorry, I just didn't turn that off to mute it. Sorry about that. Okay, let's go ahead and I'm going to pull in that headache solutions.
Laura, you might want to hit the pineal gland activation and upgrade also.
Exactly. Thank you. Oops.
So Susan, did you get Laura started on this or did she get you started on this?
Well, it's kind of like the chicken and the egg. I had done some research first, and then she was like, when I introduced it to her, she took it off like a rocket ship. I was going a lot slower than she was.
Like she does.
I love that organize, declutter, and lighten up feng shui because it's a new library that actually came up. But let me see what's the very lowest before we move on to the Fat Meltaway panels. All right. Oh, look at that, our water remedy. I'm going to do that because I know we have still some residual energy from that. From Hope. All right, let's go ahead.
Could you pull in the muscles on the hip, thigh, and ankle and foot, I think?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I sure can. Are you having that?
Oh, all the time.
Okay. One of our private sessions, Barb, we should do some muscular regeneration.
Okay.
Okay. All right, let's go ahead and pull up those important Fat Meltaway panels and see what pops up for us. All right, so we have the leptin reset is the first one. So let's go ahead and do the red and the blue there. And then the ghrelin balance, red and blue. And look at hormone and hormone disruptors. There's a lot of hormonal activity seeming to go on right there. So let's pull in that. Yeah. and emotional unlock keys. Let's put in our affirmations. And digestive fire. Oh, the triple warmer balance. Interesting. I'm going to go back to the triple warmer because if that's showing up here, we definitely want to grab that in the meridian points. I'll go back and do that as well after we get to, all right, so there we go with that panel. Oh, let's take a look at fatty acids deficiency too. Okay.
Susan, what were you gonna ask?
Well, I was just looking at the maximize lean muscle and fat burning, because that was pretty low. It's not part of the fat melt away, but it could help.
Right. I usually hit those panels after I hit the peptides.
After, yeah.
Let's check our, look at our peptides. Pull in the essential peptides. And, oh wait, before I pull that in, I want to actually get to
The meridian.
triple warmer heater.
Surprised that wasn't blue.
I know.
That may be part of the murkiness.
Mm-hmm. Certainly.
It was 154, which is interesting. It's the lowest. I'm just going to make sure I pull that in. And with the triple heater, we want to also pull in the circadian. Just that little guy right there. Okay, let's head back to libraries. All right, so we've done, so the weight release. Okay, get the reds and blues there. Let's go ahead and do the superfoods. Essential oils. Amino acids. Fatty acid metabolism. Let's go ahead and do the brown fat assessment.
You might want to pick up the minerals.
That's, I was looking at minerals and vitamins, I think.
Yep.
Although
well, that's interesting.
Yeah. There's A and the B1, and I want to go back to methylation. So let me go back to methylation. Oh, that MTFR comes up really quickly, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's do nutritional support with methylation. Okay, do the red and the blue. All right, now, because we had that triple warmer, I want to take a look at the thyroid. Okay, let's look at thyroid hormones optimized. That was blue, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Put it in the red and the blue there. And reboot. All right, we have exceeded where I like to be. So let's go ahead and find out in our analysis, what comes up the highest. Okay, all right, so we have, oh, that is wonderful. I love it all. The only thing we didn't put in, oh yeah, we did put that in, okay. Well, this is wonderful. So I am going to go ahead and pull these highs. And I'm going to go ahead and, well, I won't do it live so everyone doesn't have to actually watch the whole session, but I'm taking all of these highs. I'll be hitting the share button right up here. You can't really see it very well, but it's share button. So I'll send the highs to everyone in our group. And these are the frequencies for the week, which is wonderful. So we'll go ahead and get those sent out to everybody. And I will run the panels. I'll run this first panel because this is the most important. So those of you who are staying on or like settling down or have something that, you know, you just want to concentrate, I'll be running those frequencies. And then, like I said in the beginning, because I was showing you the water harmonizing, I will go ahead and set up another water harmonizing session tomorrow. So you can expect to see those frequencies tomorrow, and we'll have that to go ahead and work with. And remember, harmonize your water, harmonize your food. Just put it next to your phone, or if you have your app on an iPad, put it on top of your iPad. If you want to get a remedy plate, just send me a message and say, I'd like to get a remedy plate, and I'll get one ordered for you. They're just wonderful. And Susan and I are actually exploring how we can get this device to be a little bit bigger. That's one of the things that is our goal to work on, so that we can actually have a big remedy plate that we can all actually access. So that's in the workings a little down the line, but it's in a plan, so you can rest assured of that. If you do have questions, Barb, I love all the questions, and it just is intriguing to me because you're such an inquisitive woman, and anytime you learn something new, it's like you're just drawing in and pulling in everything that you know. So I really love that. I actually love having that participation in those great questions. So keep the great questions coming, everybody. And until next week, and you see us live, hopefully you'll have an opportunity to join us. I know a lot of people are on their vacation schedule, and so we're just so thankful that you're tuning in, whether you're listening live or you're tuning in later. We just appreciate you so much. If you haven't received your capsule and you're on those 2 pages that Barb manages, you know who to contact in order to get a quantum capsule. And it's never too late to get started in the FatMeltaway series.
Well, you know, like anything, it doesn't happen overnight. You don't wave a magic wand and it's instantaneous. It's a remedy to aid us in developing our mindset and our bodies to receive the way we want them to receive. And I truly appreciate this, Laura. You're way over my head right now, but I understand a lot of what you're doing because of my dealing with the oils and hormones and what I'm personally going through with doctors. And this is just so very intriguing to know that as we accept it, it's coming from within, the energies from all of us. And it's kind of fun to see how we can all work together as a group.
It is. I never cease to be amazed at anything that I'm learning. I shared with the groups and also in our thread, just a little piece of kind of the science. And I'm really big into the science anyway. I always have been a science nerd. I love the science. But what is fascinating to me is that this is just, it's not woo-woo, you know, it's not out there woo-woo. It's real science when you break it down to the quantum physics of how we're all energized, how we're put together. And, you know, some of the things that I have read this week have totally gone outside my ability to understand, and things that I've watched. in this class that Susan and I are in. I started watching, I was like, oh my God, I've got to stop for a minute because I just have to synthesize what I'm listening to. So
yeah, I think the thing about quantum physics that a lot of people don't understand is it's the next dimension that if we take the time through meditation to allow our brains to go there and absorb it, it's just so interesting how we can make that happen. Because we only use a minute part of our brains. And if we can take like this opportunity to expand ourselves, we can do so much more. We have so much within us that we hold back.
we have an infinite amount of
Exactly.
possibility.
I mean, we all have so much power from within that we aren't even aware of. And it allows us to go that step further. So.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Susan, did you want to add anything?
No, I think it's perfect. It's just, it's exciting. The more energy you get put together, just the more it can explode. So,
Yeah.
Yes.
well,
Yeah.
great.
I think that to simplify it for a lot of people that aren't truly comfortable or aware of what we're doing, it takes the prayer circle and the energy of a prayer circle and expands it even beyond that.
Mhm.
It's an exponential expansion.
Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you, Laura. We
Yes, my
appreciate you
pleasure.
doing this. All
Thank
right.
you too. I'm going to hit the stop record. Thank you all again for joining us. And let's go ahead and hit